Call the roll call. Councillor Thurber. Here. Councillor Lander.
Here.
Councillor Tudor.
Here.
Deputy Warden Ross.
Here.
Executive Assistant Taylor. CAO Jeff Sunderland. I started to say CE. I don't know. Yes, Manager of Municipal Services, Tyler Bolton. Manager of Corporate Services, Coralie Ross, and myself, Mrs. Gregory Jordan. I'm saying that. I'd like to call the pause to seek guidance, please. And now I will read the mission statement. To provide, promote, or facilitate municipal services that meet the community needs while preserving, supporting, and enhancing quality of life for all. Next is the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions for the agenda?
An addition for defibrillator for the athletic field.
Okay, so that would be under new business. On business items 4 or 5. Really, it's an AED you're talking about, right? The automatic external defibrillator.
Yeah, the one, the portable one they have for.
Yeah. All right. Is there any other additions or deletions?
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Is there a seconder?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is a presentation from Peter Robertson, Southwest Iron and Ink. If I could have someone move for him to come forward.
I motion to approve Peter Robinson of Southwest Iron and Ink to come up with a presentation.
Is there a seconder? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. So, Peter, is there anyone else come up with you? Whoever. Just make sure that you turn that on so that you're recorded.
I think I'm loud enough. I'll record it.
Yeah. It's like I suddenly moved this up because I'm not heard well.
So we just wanted to come back and give you an update on what we're doing and if there's any more questions or concerns. So I handed out this letter earlier because there may have been some confusion that we were doing it on private property or whatever, but we're doing it on people's private property, but as an organization, like we're leasing it from them and putting it on through our nonprofit organization. So I guess that's it, unless you have any, like, we've got tons of sponsors, we've got tons of vendors coming. We are using the Superstore parking lot, we're using Lakeview Auto's building, we're using the Sunset Pub, Ed's Takeout, Anthony's lot there, Traction, E. Frenchie's parking lot, the Park Lakes. Who else? There's across the road from Joey's place, we're doing rough camping in there. So Conway will be busy.
Yeah, because God, she worked with me for 100 years. They usually do camping at her place.
Cook.
Pardon?
Cook?
No.
Harvey.
Thanks, Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley.
It just was gone for a blind.
Yeah.
I could see her. I could see the house. I could see the property, and I couldn't tell you her name. Yeah, I assume she'll do
Yep.
it again this year.
As far as I know, she usually does it every year. Her and Sean.
Right. You mentioned to me, Peter, the other day that you had gone down to the States and were putting out posters.
Yep.
Would you like to just update council on what you've been doing there?
So the group of us went down to Laconia, where it's the oldest bike rally in the United States, and we stopped at every gas station and we stopped at every convenience store that we could, and downtown Laconia and different places, and we put up posters and handed out posters, and Bay Ferries came on as a sponsor. So their logo, the Pines Hotel, was on it, and the guy who donated a motorcycle to us to raffle off was on it also as a sponsor. And there was somewhere handy to 400,000 people there and bikes through the whole 10 days. So it was pretty wild times.
What dates do you have for the
Same weekend as the Wharf Rally.
Same
So
Thursday or something?
Thursday or Sunday, yeah. And it's like I explained to council the first time, it's like going to Sturgis. You got downtown Sturgis, and then you got a place called the Buffalo Chip that puts on events outside of the area of the downtown. Laconia is the same way. It has downtown, and then they have the racetrack, and they have other events going on at other places outside of the downtown core. So it spreads it, and everybody gets a thing at their business and chance to profit from it.
Now, I guess I'm the question person right now. Did you end up having to need permits because you're in our Conway area?
We have permits for health and the tattoo artist and even
But
food
I
vendors.
meant for the different properties because it's a zoned area, land area.
Not sure.
Maybe you better check with Kathy Barr, just to make sure, because it would go through Chris Millier, but the first contact would be Kathy, just to make sure get everything ducks in a row there.
Okay.
And go ahead.
So you said leading to the return of serious motorcycle enthusiasts. Is that not happening now?
It's been a downturn in it. I believe it was Kevin Ellis that said it through the tourism at one of his meetings that there was a downturn in motorcycles because of the age difference and people not coming back because of younger people not being enthused about it and stuff. So we're just trying to bring back the grassroots.
Where are you going to do this different?
We're going to put on events that entertain people that are bike related.
Is there any sort of ongoing communication? Is there any member from the Warfront Rally on your committee or vice versa?
No. They didn't want to be part of our committee, and we've offered them, but they just wanted to keep arm's length.
Any reason?
Not that I know of.
Has anyone else got any questions? So, from what you're saying, you're getting it pretty well underway.
Yep. We are. So today, Custom Creations came on board as a major sponsor. They're donating a shuttle bus to run from there all the way downtown on First Avenue and Queen Street and out as far as the Pines, because the Pines is going to do so far, as they said, Friday night they'll do a pig roast, Saturday they'll do prime rib, and Sunday they'll do lobster boil. So we're going to shuttle people from our event out there, have supper, then they can come back to the event. And so we're trying to include everybody in the town and municipality that we can.
Have you talked to King's Transit that maybe you could do something in with the people coming in on King's Transit, because they usually only go as far as, do they go as far as Sophie's or?
During the rally, you mean?
Yeah.
I think as far as Tim Hortons.
See, they only go, or they might only go to
Superstore, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we get that far.
I can't, it's not that far. Again, it would be nice just to talk to them
because it's the guy that bought Custom Creation, he owns the bus, Perry Rand and
Oh, yeah.
Cambridge. So he's donated a bus for the weekend.
Well, that's really nice. But I was just thinking because
Yeah.
we don't charge on that Saturday. No charge for people coming in on the bus.
Yeah, and we're not gonna have a charge thing, we'll do a donation thing to help pay for gas or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's voluntarily.
And so I was just thinking that's another
Yeah.
way to help the people. We will look at your request. We don't look at it tonight.
No, I understand that, I just wanted to,
We'll just,
and, sorry, I keep remembering things, but
you go right ahead.
Jill Baltzer's coming to cut the ribbon for it. We're trying to get, other MLAs and stuff. And yourself, if you would like to come out and say a few words on behalf of the municipality, we would really like to encourage you to.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
We didn't want to do it in writing, we want to do it in person.
Okay. As long as I get a date and a time.
Yep.
But it always helps.
We'll email you.
Yeah, Philip's very good that way too. Right, Philip?
Yeah. And these people are all on the board also. I shouldn't say these people, but Stacy and she's our secretary.
For our records, maybe we should introduce each person.
Okay.
But she'll put it in our minutes.
Okay, Stacy Mann, she's our secretary. Tim Van Tassel, he's the vice president. Jamie Bremner, he's a director, fellow, and myself.
What did you say your last name was?
Use my maiden name.
Oh,
Everett.
okay.
I know.
Man, Everett.
It's fine. I just, when you said that, I thought, oh, okay, if I've been doing this wrong all these years.
Sorry.
Okay, you gotta remember,
Yeah, I know.
go ahead,
I
Angela.
just have a quick question about, you say all the events are taking place in Conway. Where else besides, I've seen the Sunset Pub.
Sunset Pub, Superstore, parking lot, we'll do stunt shows in there.
Okay.
Lakeview Auto, the tattoo artists are gonna be set up inside of there. There'll be vendors across the road from the Sunset, right beside Bruce's where Joey Hattie owns that property. And then rough camping in behind there. And it's takeout, we'll have vendors and
Okay.
stuff, so. Like I say, anybody that wants to get on board is more than welcome to get on board.
Now, will you have charges for your various events?
No charges except for the two tribute bands, which are Friday night and Saturday night, and it's a CCR tribute band and a ZZ Top tribute band from Toronto.
Okay, well, I'm gonna sound very ignorant. I had no idea when you say CCR or CC.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh! Well, you had to use the whole word for me.
Yeah, it's a little too modern for one of that.
Yep.
Well,
And they're gonna play, we do Spike Night every Thursday night at the Superstore, weather permitting, and they're gonna play July the 25th in the parking lot for us, before they go to Bridgewater to the exhibition to play there, so. If you're not busy that night, come on in.
And that's on the 25th?
Yep, of July.
At what time?
Starts at 5. Goes till the last bike leaves.
And that's the Clearwater Revival Group.
Yes.
Okay. What does the CCT mean?
CCR.
CCR?
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Well, there was two letters. No.
Oh, ZZ Top was the other one.
Z.
Oh my God,
ZZ Top.
What is that?
They're the ones with the long beards that were down here that play,
Is that their name?
Yeah.
Z Top?
ZZ Top is the band, but the tribute band is ZC Top.
Oh.
you should come out and watch. We'll introduce
I'm
you.
gonna have to, because
You'll know every song they play.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Linda's gonna like, what's this called, a rock and roll?
Actually, Clearwater, actually performed here about 40 years ago. Oh. Maybe longer.
who did?
Clearwater. Yeah. I was there.
So they played at the very first Wharf Rat Rally, ZZ Top and CCR played, and 20 years later they're playing again for the inaugural. So it's West Ireland Inc., so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have any more questions or anything.
Well, I thank you so much for your presentation, and sorry to show my ignorance when it comes to letters, but it means nothing.
Yeah. You'll know them all.
I could use acronyms from work.
Well, thank you for your time, and hopefully you'll come to the event and enjoy. Buy a ticket on the motorcycle.
So, will your opening be on the Thursday or the Friday?
Thursday.
Okay.
We'll give you a time.
No, just so I can.
Yeah.
Put it in my list.
Thank
you very, very much.
Thank you. See ya. You guys stay?
Enjoy.
Stacy, you off again today? Yeah. And tomorrow?
And the next day,
Go to your room.
I'm working the weekend though.
Oh, okay. She works in the ER. It's just that I've never heard her maiden name before. Alrighty, and we can put that on the next, bylaw or whatever's coming up, we can discuss it. Alright, the next is the minutes of May 28th, 2024. Is there any errors or omissions anyone saw?
Motion to approve the minutes of May 28th, 2024.
Is there a seconder? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The CAO report, reminders, and just to remind you, this is really easy. July 16th, you have your audit, and then your bylaw and policy, and on July 23rd will be our council. Remember that our next council meeting will be in September. We'll only have a committee of the whole in August. You haven't got that, but I just wanted to give you a reminder. So July the 16th is our next meeting. Actions from previous meetings. Anyone have anything they need to bring up, bring forward? Any actions on the report? Okay. How about the update on capital projects? Questions, concerns?
Not gonna answer questions on this batch, because if things go well tonight, it'll be a new report, next council meeting. No, there's no changes in this from last month. That's what happened this time of year. It's a little stale for the second month in a row.
All right, the financial report that was from May 2024. Any questions, concerns, comments?
We accept this financial report.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's percent. Yeah, it's percent. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Well, we must be in a hurry. Next is our standing committee items, bylaw and policy recommendations. The first is a request for letter of support to reopen the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia Western Branch. And the motion is behind you because this was from our bylaw and policy.
I move the council write a letter of support for the Friends of the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia Western Branch's campaign to reopen the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia Western Branch.
Is there a seconder?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is the awarding of Phase 2 tender. Again, this is from our bylaw and policy.
I move that the council award the tender for Phase 2 office renovation to Gearing Construction Limited in the amount of $169,700 plus tax.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is the committee of the whole recommendations. We have three motions for the election items.
I move the council appoint Taylor Robinson as the Assistant Returning Officer for the 2024 election.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried.
I move,
Sorry.
I move the council agree to have the revised list of electors completed by August 23rd, 2024, which will allow us to have the listings prepared for the candidates by the nomination by appointment date of August 29th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried.
I move the council agree to run advanced polls starting Thursday, October 10th, 2024, from 9 a.m. continuously until 7 p.m. Saturday, October 19th, 2024, electronic or by telephone.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. I just a comment, at the mayor's congress, we were talking about, and there was some that are still doing like the two separate dates. You know, and I was saying how ours is continuous because of we're doing electronic. It was just listening in the province, it was different. The next is the road submission list from Industrial Park.
I move the council approve and sign the cost share program for paving of subdivision J-class streets for industrial drive in the amount of $41,250.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is from the Heritage Advisory, and they're asking about a deregistration of municipal property, and that was due to a fire that happened to destroy the property.
I move that council agrees to deregister the property located at 86 Shore Road, Little River, PID 30160888 as a registered municipal heritage property due to total destruction by fire.
Is there a seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, so you seconded? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. And there is a letter that will be sent to the owners so they know what they're going to do. The next is the capital budget, years 1 to 5. Is there any questions or concerns or anything you want to add?
I just wanted to point out, so I know in the first draft, we had explained that we had put some funding in the recreation category in year 1 for the Zamboni at Dark. So we have removed that from the capital budget. We will be discussing it further in the contractual item in camera, but it is not a part of this capital budget. There have been no other changes. But welcome. Any questions?
That's good.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept the capital budget years 1 to 5?
Motion to approve the capital budget years 1 to 5.
Is there a seconder?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is the bush cutting concerns. At Waste Check, there was a discussion over how sometimes the ditches are cut and they leave like pieces up like this, so that they're like sharp sticks that you roll in, you're like going on a skewer type thing. And so it was made a motion that we would ask each of the councils to send our concerns and write the Minister of Public Works of these concerns. And there is a letter also there showing it what it was. So how does council feel? So the bush cutting practice on secondary roads?
I'm a little confused with it. I understand the intent of it and all, but over the years we've had Public Works have had such a hard time getting them to hog brush or brush hog, what you call it.
Bush hog.
Bush hog, sorry. They have a machine that goes out and it chips it. They don't like that. Now they're doing it a different way and they don't like that.
There's two ways. Some people don't like the chipping, but it's more safe.
But they
That's why
want-
I was asking here what they were doing, and they were cutting down, but not in all municipalities has it been cut down. So when it leaves up these little, they're like this, they're like little sticks, that if you went off the road and rolled on them, they would puncture your vehicle. And you're in there, it's gonna puncture you. That's the concern. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was my question, was what the concern was, because I missed the meeting,
Mhm.
waste check meeting, and I was curious about what it had to do with waste check. Because I also had that issue with, TIR, and it's important to have that done, and I find that, if we start restricting how they can do it, and it maybe.
We're not asking to restrict, we're asking to look at it to make it safer, because the way some of it is being done, it's causing, material to fill up in the ditches, it impedes the flow, it's not neat, it's not.
Yeah, I know, because I had a lot of complaints on my road when it was done, but once, they do it in the spring when nothing's there, and then you don't, and then as spring comes, like, I don't really see a lot of those big high dumps that you're talking about,
It's
and
not
actually,
there.
when they did in front of houses, they told people that if they were concerned, that they could, actually mark what they didn't want them to cut, and they would actually come themselves with a saw and cut them to the ground. It's just in areas where, where there was no houses, they were leaving it standing, which environmentally is not an issue, but I'm just, I was just curious what waste check issue was, because I read something about they were getting complaints or something.
It's the practice of leaving material in the ditch, which is impeding the draining, and it does achieve a reasonable neat appearance, and the standard is not living up to what their standard is, to remove undesirable roadside vegetation in order to maintain site distances, control roadside growth, ensure proper drainage, and to provide a reasonable neat appearance to the highway right-of-way.
Yeah, I can understand that, but they had additionally, our residents are complaining it makes it nearly impossible to pick up litter from the roadside. Are they
Because of these sharp sticks, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they fell on them, they're gonna be in the hospital.
And I have no problem with writing a letter, but I don't want us to, restrict them.
We're not asking to restrict, we're just asking to follow their standard. And that would be clean it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's done by an outside contractor, but.
Yeah.
They can still make them adhere to it.
Well, they don't have to fill the ditches up. I know down by home, when they cut last year, they were bush cutting people. Left a lot of the trash in the ditch, and when it rains hard, the stuff all gathers up.
Yeah.
And kind of makes little dams and little,
Well, that's because they were told that they couldn't use the wood chipper. And I mean, that's what I'm saying, if we bug them about this, they might just
I
say
have not
no.
heard that at all.
And
They've not been allowed.
I certainly use the wood chipper and then leave it garbage in the ditch.
Right now, I mean, they're not bush hogging the sides of the roads now. I mean, these signs everybody's talking about that look bad, the alders are actually taller than the signs now, you can't even see the signs, so.
That's why we're asking them to adhere to their standard that they're supposed to be.
I think as a council, we could take it to our TIR meeting, but I don't think it's gonna look good coming from waste check.
No, waste check, only waste check is done is ask us to go on to the highways for our concerns.
What's the choices you say, like, I don't know, but.
All we're asking them to do is to try to adhere to their standards.
And that's what I said, what is their standard?
The standard is roadside maintenance of Nova Scotia Highways maintenance standards states that the purpose of brush cutting is to remove undesirable roadside vegetation in order to maintain site distances, control roadside growth, ensure proper drainage, and to provide a reasonably neat appearance to the highway right-of-way. That's what we're saying, and just what you said, we're getting the dams, we're getting the.
Because of these, so if they chip it, I don't see any problem with chipping it that goes back off the ditch road.
It works
As long
really
as it's not
well.
on somebody's property or somebody's.
Chipping works really well to
It-
keep
it
the
doesn't-
undergrowth down without using chemicals.
And they may respond back with, what are you gonna do with the litter that's in the ditches, because that's not up to TIR.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Throw
it
the
is.
litter out,
Oh, yes, it is.
is it?
TIR's responsibility to keep that litter out of there.
Mhm.
We ask people to do it and clean up their own because we're trying to keep a neat appearance, but TIR, it's like if there was a deer dead on the side of the road, it's TIR you call. They're the ones having to remove it.
We're lucky we get our dishes all cleaned yearly by the children for raising money for track every year.
Mm.
And we're well, we're fine.
That's nice.
So fine.
So, how are people, do you want a letter sent or you don't want a letter sent?
I guess we could send a letter expressing the concern of waste check. I mean, I don't know, because I know like everyone's short-staffed, so they're hiring external
It's
like
to
contractors.
save money supposedly, it costs them more, but it's to try to save.
Yeah, well, just like they save money with the travel nurses.
Yeah,
So they have to, well, yeah, I guess they have to ask the contractor to chip it.
whatever, if that's not our concern is just ask them to look at what's going on.
Can we ask TIR to ask the contractors to,
Again, we have to send it over to the minister, and then she is the one that has to tell them. Or designate.
Just to make sure, so Waste Check did send a letter to the.
Yes, we did send a letter, sorry. But
Yeah.
we also asked our council, we couldn't send it on behalf of council,
Yep.
is what I meant.
Yeah, I guess we'll just ask them to review their practices when they're doing brush cutting on the side of the road.
I just don't like how it's worded, end the practice of leaving brush, cuttings, limbs, and tree trunks.
If the only thing I see that you say they're doing is that
You may look at that and say,
Restore
oh, we're gonna
property.
bush hog, see ya.
that they are doing it to maintain site distance, that's why they're doing it. So that's still happening, and they're controlling the roadside growth by cutting it. It's just the drainage that's the issue, is that.
Well, and it is the sticks being left up that become a hazard.
I would feel better if the last paragraph wasn't there, because.
We can make a letter any way we want to make a letter. This is just a sample of what the letter I sent.
I mean, it looks, just right there, it says, so it's pleasing and safe to pick up litter, but you're saying they're supposed to be picking it up anyway, so.
Yeah, but they're not going to, because they don't have enough staff.
They're not gonna have enough staff to, I don't know,
It's
I
like,
pick my battles with public works, that's all, it's hard. We've been at them before about doing.
this is coming from all Southwest Nova, if everyone sends it.
Yeah, I'd say impeding the drainage, if it is an issue, then that's important, you know. So I guess, yeah, we could just ask them to review their roadside maintenance.
So are you making a motion about the bush cutting on secondary roads, and we can come up with a letter?
I'll
Hearing
make a
what we're saying.
motion, we send a letter, for them to review the roadside maintenance standards.
Is there a seconder to that?
second,
All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is the, fire reduction request.
Taxes.
I feel a lot of pressure for silence. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
And this has come from Nicole.
The motion to, reduce the property taxes on,
AAN.
AN 001977. on 68 Martin's Lane, Clinton.
Second that.
And do we put down to the amount?
I think we usually do.
Yeah.
On the amount of $146.08.
Where's your 146?
Right there.
Oh,
12
sorry.
months, well, numbers.
For 11 months, yep. Okay.
Second.
All in
We
favor?
already seconded.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next
Break my
is-
computer. Declare a conflict.
Time and conflict.
Oh, okay. This is a community grant application from Ann's Community Solar Greenhouse and Gardens. Did we receive a, this is what I saw, was there a financial sheet? Oh. It's because I didn't have it up in the file. I just I'm gonna keep going down.
I have no problem with the $2,500. I have them on my Facebook, and they are very active in the community. I think everyone in the community is involved with the greenhouse, and it's learning, the learning opportunities for the students. And like I said, I think it's an important part of the community.
How much money do we have?
We have just over 21,000.
Okay. How do other people feel?
Well, I think it's a good project. They're putting a lot of money in themselves. Just not us funding.
Make a motion.
It's up to somebody.
I'm asking Angela, do you make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. I'll second it.
What are you making the motion?
I make the motion that we give Ames Greenhouse $2,500 for the project.
And Community Solar Greenhouse and Gardens.
Yeah. Good report.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Next is 4.5, the AED. Oh, do you want someone like David?
David? Was there.
That's 4 minutes all day.
So, you want to speak about the AED?
Yeah, back in the spring, or when the grants application for the grants went out, the Wayne Athletics Federation or Association put forth a request for a third of the cost of one of the defibrillators.
AED, automatic external defibrillator.
They had potentially at the time, they had two other funders, and so the municipality was the third one, I think, it was $800,000. In the meantime, Dig was talking to the paramedics, and they said, look, instead of you going through all that expense, you gotta look after it, you gotta switch locations in the fall, because there's nobody at the field. Why don't you let us put one in? And we'll be responsible for it. So coming into the season, they would take
So
it
they're
back.
gonna buy it and put it in.
Yeah, they would take it back or whatever, look after it,
Then
make
that's
sure
just
it's recharged and all
that's
that
just
stuff.
saving us $800.
So Dig wanted to know what he does with the $800.
It would be returned to us.
Does it return? You said you could use it with the program.
Well, then we make another request.
He would have to
Another
do
request
another
for the program.
request. He can do another request, but
Okay.
the money has to be returned.
Okay, that's what he didn't want to spend it until. he got the
No.
word on what-
But I'm sure if he has a request for various items, that it would be looked at.
Okay, so.
By all of us.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he thought, so he didn't catch it, Jack.
I think that's really nice that the paramedics are doing that.
Yeah, otherwise they would have had to like, maybe take it down to the drugstore, make sure. it's-
Well, yeah, you can't leave it all winter.
And, so this way, next spring, they'll get another one, or get one that's fully charged. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The next is, under correspondence, the 12-month notice letter from the NSFM. And then there was the Friends of Feral Society thank you letter.
If I could, just on the 12-month letter first. So I think as the trend that we've seen, you've heard me speak on, the 12-month letters are different than what they used to be. They are no longer, they are advanced warnings on what could change, not a get ready for this $5,000 change, right? So these are the areas where things are happening. So, I mean, we'll get updates through the year on them, but it is difficult to plan around, which was the original intent of these 12-month letters, right?
Well, yeah.
But you'll see there's a lot of.
It was coming, now you really don't know.
They're leaving their options open.
They are definitely leaving some options open, and there are a number of things under review in here, right?
People are gonna get unhappy about that though. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of the 12-month notice.
System problems.
So yeah, and it's hard to know, they could be minor changes when something is mentioned here, or they could be significant. So that is one of the other challenges that the municipal units
Yeah,
have.
the library one's good because when you put with each Halifax Regional Municipality paying for theirs, it's kind of scary to put that around on us. How much that could cost down the road.
But yeah, so I just wanted to flag that the challenges continue
Yeah.
with that communication, but there are some pretty major things flagged in there. So.
Yeah. We can see.
Yeah.
Okay. The next is expanding qualifying expenditures for the CCPC, GF. Any questions, concerns?
So this is what used to be referred to as gas tax fund.
Because they don't want you to use that term, I made that very clear again at the FCM. You want to use it, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
So what is funny is in New Brunswick and PEI, they're finding it's going to be more open than it ever was before, where we're not finding that. So they must have had many more reductions from their province. The next is the advisory committee minutes, reports, the REMO advisory committee reports from February. Any questions, concerns?
Skip round, or was that just me?
Yeah, I said it.
You did say?
Yeah.
Yep. Must have been dozing on.
The next one, there's nothing under other council committees, but then when we go to the joint municipal committee minutes, Skyview board minutes, March 27th and April 24th. Is there any questions, concerns? If not, next was the senior safety board AGM package of June 6th, and then their meeting package of June 6th of their regular board meeting. Any questions? The next was data, the 2024-2025 slate of directors. The next is June DART meeting package.
Did they hire a new hire at the, Ken used to be the guy, lowest on the totem pole, right?
Oh, he's been gone for a couple
It's on
of
for a
years.
while, we
yeah.
replaced him a while ago, yeah.
No, I was just reading through it and I saw this guy's name, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah. Matt's pretty
His name is Matt, and
Yeah.
he's done a lot of
Upgrades.
in-services,
Yeah.
so he's
The guy from the Kindred, right?
Yeah.
Big guy, yeah.
good.
very nice man.
He has knowledge about ice making.
And we have not replaced Candace. As of yet. The next is the Waste Check Authority meeting of June the 11th, and then there's the meeting notes that highlights everything. And then the Waste Check, there is concern over the Himalaya blackberry, which is very invasive, that is taking over in places in Yarmouth now. And of course.
It's a berry? Blackberries?
It's a blackberry, but it will impale birds if they land on it. Yeah, birds are dying from it.
I've never heard of such a
And they
thing.
said it's so thick that if a cat tried to get through, it can't get through. And it's well, it's like going in barbed wire type thing in a way. He was saying how thick and heavy it is. Child, anything can't
I've
get
seen
through
mice
it.
and fucking
And and that was through, one of the counselor in Yarmouth, and he had been out to BC and taken videos to show us. The same as our knotweed, is the other one, and of course, it's.
That's something we should consider, sorry, just interrupt for a second. I know that, is it PEI or England, I can't remember, England. If you have knotweed on your property, you can't sell it until it's gone. And that's how they've dealt with Japanese knotweed.
Well, what the problem is, it's in our ditches, and it's being spread there too. And the only way you can get it out of your property, you actually have to dig it up. And if you put the roots in a bag, like a dark bag, and they will kill the roots.
The plant ladies on the island who do the article for passages this month are writing the only thing you can do for Japanese knotweed is to spray it with diluted glyphosate, phosphate, in the fall. Nothing else will kill it.
Yeah,
So even digging it up, you won't get it all. Is what they said to me. And I'm surprised because these guys, those two ladies, are very anti-pesticides or Roundup, those sorts of things, herbicides. And they said we're going to end up growing one thing. 100 years from now, Digby County will have one thing growing, and it'll be Japanese knotweed.
Well, it's just like bamboo. I've never seen anything like it.
That's what it is. That's what Japanese knotweed is. The bamboo.
I was going to say, I've never seen
It's also called buckwheat. It has a whole bunch of names. And I have a theory. If you got multiple names, shouldn't trust you. Works for plants and people.
So, I mean, it is a huge concern.
That'd be something to the bylaw.
Like he wanted to make sure that we knew about it, because if it's in Yarmouth, it's gonna be here.
We also have giant hogshead that I've reported it repeatedly to the province, that poisonous hogshead weed or hogweed. If it's poisonous pollen, I think somebody had to move off the island because of it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've reported repeatedly to the province, no response.
And then the next one was the divert landfill audit. Is there any questions on anything? Okay. The next is our council district activity reports. And let's start with Angela.
I don't have a very long report. I went to the FCM in Calgary and didn't really have a chance to go through all the stuff, the information I brought back, because I came back with Lyme, so I've been sick.
With Lyme disease?
Really? You have Lyme disease?
Yes, I do.
Are you okay? You're not nothing too serious,
I do. No, I'm starting to feel better now, but I tell everybody to be very vigilant when you get in the ground.
Get that Atlantic, that
I
works
didn't know.
wonders.
I never found it. The doctor just found the spot where it was in. He said he was in there 2 weeks before I got any symptoms. So.
And you're lucky you got some symptoms. One of the girls is affected now, her joints. She found a blotchy rash that came over her, but it kept fading. So she just thought, she picks up a rash easy. And by the time she could barely walk, Lyme disease. She's been on antibiotics, and guess what? She thinks she just got Lyme disease.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very active, but yeah. Good. I did go to a housing redevelopment that was on a military base up there, and that was very interesting. And I went to a civic innovation one, which was probably my most interesting one. And I haven't had time to go through all the information.
We can bring it back next month, because I haven't had a chance either.
But that's it.
All right, Matthew.
I attended the first Talkieville fundraiser meeting at the Curling Club. There was about a dozen in attendance. Some great ideas were brought forth, and the next meeting should be in the next few weeks. If you're interested in helping out, you can let myself or Mike Bartlett know. While Warden was at FCM in Calgary, she asked if I would attend the family medicine residency graduation for 4 students practicing at the Yarmouth Hospital. This program trains new doctors and out of the 4 students, 1 will be returning to the Yarmouth to practice. It was very well attended, and we sat and met 2 doctors that travel frequently from Yarmouth to work in the Digby Hospital. I was supposed to speak at the grand opening of the Splash Park on Saturday, however, it was rained out, and I could not attend the Sunday opening as I was cooking brunch for Father's Day. I would like to take the time to thank all the volunteers that worked very hard to get the Splash Park built. They did a really great job, and they actually got it a year sooner than originally planned, so that's great. Last Wednesday, I attended the 9th annual Richard Ellis Golf Tournament at the Pines. $20,000 was raised that day, and the proceeds went towards the purchasing of a Lucas chest compression unit for the hospital. Friday, I attended the Joe Casey Humanitarian Award ceremony. The well-deserved recipient was Susan Dexter White. Like that, well attended. Saturday morning, I attended the Multicultural Festival downtown at the Marina. There were many people in attendance. It was nice to experience the different foods that were being displayed by many of the different cultures that have moved into the area. And Saturday afternoon, I had the honor of attending the Nature Trust Open House in Acacia Valley, and presented Larry and Greta Goodman with a certificate on behalf of council. Larry and Greta have donated 163 acres of their private woodlot to the Nature Trust for conservation and help preserve the wonderful 12-kilometer Acacia Valley Trail that they also help build and maintain.
Wow.
And Larry thanked the municipality too for having the open trails and being able to put the signage up to recognize the trails and all that stuff too. So I want to mention that. Sunday afternoon, I attended the monthly Digby Fish and Game meeting. First half of the roof work is getting installed, and we are working hard to get fundraising in place for the rest of the year for the larger part of the roof. I've also been meeting with individuals on housing concerns, road maintenance, and safety. Busy month.
Sounds like it. George?
First of all, on behalf of Linda, I attended the NSCC graduation in Yarmouth, which was for Shelburne, Yarmouth, and Digby. There was a fair number from Digby, I suppose. Riverside Cemetery in Weymouth North, it's a heritage property. They had a meeting. I attended that. Helped serve at the Cancer Support Group, T in Weymouth.
Yeah, I heard you did a good job.
Oh, you did, eh?
Yes. You were asked how long it took you to prepare and be ready. Are you going to tell them the answer?
How long it took me to prepare what?
To prepare and be ready to serve everybody.
How long it took? I don't know, not too long.
I think your comment was, I'm used to it at home.
Oh.
See, I get told everything.
I pay no attention to stuff after I say it. Hopefully Helen does too. The Weymouth Board of Trade had a meeting, and they're kind of on the fence whether they're going to go ahead or not, wait till fall, see what happens.
For what?
Well, for the area, there's only a couple of businesses in town now, but so they're going to do the Weymouth area, like a number of businesses from Clifton to St. Bernard.
Good idea.
Yeah, and brought a senior in Digby to help with to get his tax relief set up, so because he earned less than $30,000 or whatever. Committee meetings and a couple of phone calls. No road phone calls. Everybody's happy with it. So.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. No, better than other years.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. David?
I'm being generous, a grade 6 math level to a high school academic math level, so it was a real fun 6 weeks. And I did. And it was like, yay! So, but it definitely took a lot of time. My favorite was, I have no idea about this algebra, and then I said, the only thing I can do is practice for 10 hours. And at the end of 10 hours, I knew it. So it was exactly that. I have no other option. So I've been busy lately. We had a fellow show up on the island completely destitute, no belongings of any kind. We filled up his cupboards, clothing, furniture, and amongst other things. So everything got set up for him completely. He was quite surprised. Questions about trails. I took a gentleman to Tideview to take a look and see how it is, and he absolutely loved it. Now I just got to convince him of that, and he's like, "That's great, David. I can't wait to go. I'll go in 4 years."
In 4 years.
Yeah, I was hoping 3 months was what I was looking at. But we'll see.
The thing is, you gotta get his name in.
I know.
Yeah.
I even had a lady. I thought I'd get there quick. An elderly lady with a dependent is having her house is being sold. So we're putting them into contact with the Department of Housing, a social worker. She's, I think, eligible to a ton of things. However, I don't think she's applied to any of them. And so I've been going there every day, and I've told her because she's quite upset. It's a difficult situation to be in. So I just said I'll just come every day until everything is solved, and that's what I've been doing. And so we've been talking and calling people, dropping off boxes, the whole 9 yards. I've got to find a place where we live, though. I have a couple of options. John Makrovich, very concerned. Dealt with immediately. Good old John. I love-hate the relationship with that guy. Medical issue with housing ramifications. Somebody is unable to get their medicine, so I'm trying to deal with that. That's also complicated as could be. And I've got a type of form that I have to, and the person has to fill it out with a ton of info and make the argument and see how it goes. I gave away 200 pounds of cucumbers to the children of Briar Island and Long Island. I sent them all home to school. I have 40 pounds of greens for the food bank, and I'm now making regular deliveries to the Island Manor, so it's like a little farmer's market with about 5 different things that they can select every few days. The pots are almost ready. I've got 60, 70 pots of basil, onions, oregano, something like that. I gave a garden talk to the Westville Garden Club. Garden clubs apparently have a real hard time finding somebody that's funny. So I've been getting lots of calls. They're like, "Oh my God, this guy made a joke. I can't believe it." And so apparently your typical garden club speaker is pretty dry. I regaled him with all kinds of bizarre tales. Helping show with all kinds. I got 2 separate people beds, the first guy I told you about, and then a teenager. My ongoing activity and concerns to keep me busy. Drop by regularly. It's kind of funny because everybody knows what I'm up to. New folks showing up, supporting people, inviting to join the fire department, that kind of stuff. Reference letters for children because it's getting their college time. Connecting families to resources. Odessa with Turning the Tide is fantastic. She's a one-woman machine. I have hooked her up with several families that are very vulnerable, really need help, and she's like all over it. Pretty good. Been talking to other gardeners, made sort of like a deal with various people's greenhouses so that instead of them throwing away their obscene amounts of lettuce, they give it to me on the second Sunday of each month. I've organized the greenhouse so it's multi-generational work, so we've got people from 80 to 10. I have organized various groups of children under various capacities that come over, work with the older folks. The older folks communicate the knowledge, and we've got things going really good. Plus, the school is now getting involved, so too, we have 3 hydroponic gardens. They're going to be worked into the system that we're currently making. So for example, this is what they had, the old folks in the food bank: spinach, lettuce, basil, oregano, mint, arugula, cilantro, thyme, marjoram, beet greens, and I'm sure I'm missing another 3 or 4, but all that is a selection, all free. I've been talking to people about duplication of services in the 4th level of government, because people complain about taxes, and the obvious one down there on the islands is we got the federal we have to pay for, we got the provincial we got to pay for, the municipal we got to pay for, and now the village we got to pay for. And I've been explaining I think I'm pretty close to convincing one village, and I imagine the other 2 villages will follow behind. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure about that. What else? Food bank is going through some supply issues. I'm getting far less than what I did because everybody's getting pulled that much tighter. So I'm going to have to adjust how I run the food bank, and I'm just starting that process now because I had so much to do with the math and the everything. So yeah, and also I didn't bring my cell phone, so I didn't have any of my cell phone stuff in this. This is just the stuff that was in my emails.
All right. Since our meeting, I went to a SWAN conference in Halifax, where we've been talking again about ERP, the changes that are happening, and what's being accepted at landfills, what's being accepted at electronics, that type of thing. And Greg Thomas and his wife attended as well, and Glendon from their
Greg Thomas on Muslim.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at the table, it was Joanne and Greg and me and Glendon. And Glendon is the manager in charge of the Yarmouth one. I actually had a real good time because as they were talking, they both made comments. How are we going to incorporate that? How are we going to do this? And I'm listening. I'm thinking, good answers. You know, Lord, I don't know. But still, it wasn't bad. Then we flew to the FCM, where I get food poisoned, and I got to spend a lovely afternoon of missing. This is what annoyed me. It was a workshop I was attending, and I wanted to see Trudeau.
Oh, he was there, wasn't he?
Yes, and of course. I mean, I didn't think they'd let me going down there and bombing my guts out. But then there was other people they didn't let in, not mentioning anybody's name.
And I feel bad because I was front row. I was like 10 feet from him, like dead center front row.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Actually, from what I heard, I mean, I'll be honest, I was expecting a lynching. I really was. If you could hear the way it felt. But like I said, I really wanted to go, and he did. He did a good job, as usual. And then Sing was there, and Sing did a good job. And Elizabeth May, what can I say about Elizabeth May? That she's wonderful. And of course, our conservative leader was too busy.
I once had giant islands battles with them like that.
Oh, did you?
I feel like she must have won.
No, she didn't.
No, really?
Really? So,
Actually, it was Ireland.
so for me, I will be bringing in at the next month some stuff because it was actually really interesting. And I went to some workshops I really enjoyed. The only study tour I went to was on the first day, and Tyler and I went together, and we had our picture taken showing what hardworking people we were in our hard hats and in these ugly boots that hurt and ached and felt like I was going to calm down on them. They were so heavy. Because we went into the Bow Museum, and they were showing how they kept some artifacts there as they're still renovating. It was really interesting, and they said it was cheaper by far at the end of the day to fix up what they had as to rip down and redo. And they were the architect was saying they're finding more and more that it can be cheaper to fix and make it better than rip it down and build new. Because what have we always heard? Rip it down, this will be better. So that didn't happen. Then I also went to the Atlantic Energy Summit, only for the opening remarks at the Digby Pines. And I was told to be there for 9 o'clock, and I walked in at 9 o'clock with my words and my opening, and the girl looked at me really funny. I actually got there about 20 to 9, so I didn't want to be late. And she looked at me funny, and she said, just a minute. I thought, oh, this is funny. And they said, the opening was at 8 o'clock. So I called her home, showed her my invitation, showed her the thing, and it said 9. So I was not a happy camper. And so then they said, well, we can wait till the next break. I said, no, you've already done your opening. I'm not coming in midway to do it. That's stupid. And so then the head guy at the conference was talking to me, and he said, can I see that invitation, please? And he wanted to see who had sent it. So, yeah, it was embarrassing, or I was embarrassed. Because here I am thinking I'm coming in 20 minutes early, and I'm 40 minutes late. So that was the energy talk. I wasn't invited to it only for the opening. Harry did get to attend, and he had a good thing. I also went to the Pierre Dugas Saint de Avon's art exhibit opening reception.
Dugas! Wow!
Yeah, and make sure I pronounced it properly. And they had 4 days of this festival.
They have little dancers.
Well, they had a guy who was supposed to be him, and they had all this beautiful artifacts. And of course, Alex was there as the warden, but then the MLAs were there, their council was there, the mayor of Annapolis Royal was there, there was other dignitaries all over. So, it was really interesting, actually. And then I attended the 95th birthday for Geraldine Denton Wolliver Hedberg. And that was actually a fun evening. I did a presentation, Jill did a presentation, and then they asked me if I would do the Prime Minister's presentation. So, the gentleman that was here earlier does not care much for the Prime Minister. Actually, he doesn't care for him at all. So I said to Geraldine, I said, now this is from Philip's favorite person in the world. So Philip's right there. I said, he couldn't wait for me to present this to you. He knows you're going to love it. And his aunt says, from Trump! And I went, no, from the Prime Minister. Well,
wow,
he said,
real
Trump.
geniuses on the action there, man.
Well,
Holy
no,
cow.
he's a very big Trump supporter. So it was like, but I laughed. I went, no. This is from the Prime Minister, but, she got one from us, one from the MLA, one from the MP, and then the Prime Minister. So she was very happy over that. I then attended the funeral of a Caroline Trimper, who I personally did not know, but the reason I attended, her husband is not called an MLA, because he's Newfoundland. They're called
Oh, yeah, what do they call that?
MPA? It's a little different. MPA, maybe? Anyway, it was his wife, and he is from the river area, and I was notified about it. And wanted to know. So I attended, and I had already met him at the Mayor's Congress in Goose Bay, and he wanted to thank me for attending with my son here on behalf of the municipality. And, but such a lovely man, and his wife got ill, and I hope, she was a very big thing. And then I also went to the Mayor's Congress, which had 30 speakers, there was 13 sessions and 9 participants. It was the largest we had. I will be sending you out, there was a lot of material, and I'm gonna highlight it, probably because I just got back from that, Sunday, this week anyway, Monday night, Saturday night, it's, yeah, kind of always having fun. So, I also had some, again, concerns with people. Housing is at the forefront. Housing, like I said, we're still trying to find places for people. And, also, I'm gonna mention it because it's not our thing, but I had got a call from the gentleman that we were no longer selling, jet fuel, if you were a pilot. So I, of course, called Tyler up, and it, an environment decision, not us. And, so Jill Balster said she was gonna look into it, because there is, 8 to 10, people that have been buying for us for 10, 15 years. That only, they use it for the race cars. That's the only thing they can use in their race cars. And, so now the concern is about how do they, and these cars, you're talking $50,000
Well, all the time I was thinking that there was no use to that air for, that there was something, 300, well, now I'm not so upset with everybody, now that I've heard that.
So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that Jill said she wanted to look into it, because, all these people are in her area, they're not all in somewhere in Annapolis County. But, like I said, well, why would we know? I mean, that's nothing to do with us.
So we aren't allowed to sell jet fuel?
How much should we pay?
How much should we pay to put that in there?
No, only to pilots.
I missed that part.
No, it's only to pilots.
Oh.
So unless they can turn their vehicle into a plane load.
Because they're worried about explosives or something.
I have no idea.
There's just a lot of restrictions they placed on
Yeah.
how we pump and who pumps and how trained they are. But we are looking into it. So I've been in contact with Jill's office, and we're seeing if there's a way around it.
Yeah, because Jill said she wanted to look into it. She was very concerned over it, because I did bring it up to Jill, because this person was calling Jill as well. So and I thought he had a valid point. But again, it was not our fault. And, and it's like you explain to people, as a council, we do not look at the everyday runnings of any department. That's not our job, we're not allowed to do it. But when the question is asked, and it was like, really? Holy mackerel. So that's been my month. It's been a busy month. So now, we have 2 reasons to go on camera. One's personnel and the other is contractual. So could I have someone move for us to go on camera?
So move, we go on camera.
Is there a seconder?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried.